So you've seen it everywhere. And the angsty emo teens hanging out in the hallways of the class of high school, or in the awkward middle schoolers who hang out primarily at the public library or in the food court of the mall. Well, what are with these giant stack of like reversed comic books and the cartoon girls on their shirts? Well, this is anime. Now, I know you may not know all about anime, so I've broken it down into 3 sections. And those 3 sections are going to be pieces of plot because, as you may not know, as American cartoons do follow some form of plot, so does anime. For exposition, I'm going to show you the origin. For the climax, I'm going to show you when it became popular and its peak popularity in America. And then for denouement, or to tie things up, I'm going to show you the effects that it had on society today. Now, before you learn the origin, you might want to know what it is. Well, according to Wiki Anime, it's a Japanese style of animation, of hand-drawn or computer animation, or according to Google, it's a Japanese film a Japanese film style, an animated film style, primarily aimed at adults as well as children. And the manga is the comic book version. This began in the 1960s with a man named Osamu Tezuka, and he's been referred to as the god of anime and manga. His style is what has influenced many genres of anime today, and even like the basic style with the big eyes, like just the kind of big shapely heads, just a little weird. And so his style has inspired a genre called giant robot, or in America we call it mecha. And some examples of that would be Neon Genesis Evangelion, Gundam, and I'm just going to call it SDFM, Super Dimension Fortress Macross. And then to the right of me is a character from Neon Genesis Evangelion, and her name is Rei. Why is that not true? There we go. And then in the 80s in Japan, anime was very, very popular, but not as popular as manga was. So it made its way into the mainstream, but it still was not as popular as manga was. So if anime became popular in Japan in about the 80s, when does it become popular in the West? Bringing us to our next point, climax. Anime becomes very popular, but not as popular as it's always been in about the early 90s, with shows like Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball ended in about 85. Dragon Ball Z picked up in 89 and went till 96. However, it's not until the mid-2000s, approximately 2006, to where it reaches its peak. At this point, according to Today.com, it's more age and gender inclusive than ever before, because in the early 90s, anime was primarily the target audience was young and adolescent boys. Some really popular anime of the time would be Inuyasha, Ouran High School Host Club, and this show actually broke a lot of barriers, like traditional gender roles, and shined a light into sexuality without making the show inherently sexual itself. It's a nice slice of life cartoon, and I would definitely enjoy it. I feel like anyone would definitely enjoy it. There's Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. So we know that it was popular, but if it's Japanese animation, how are they able to watch it? Well, this is possible through Adult Swim. It's a part of Cartoon Network. It's a part of Cartoon Network that was. Are you sure you don't just want me to do this later?
Yeah, keep going. We will have consequences.
I can do it later.
Yes.
Okay. So this ran from approximately 10 p.m. to 6 in the morning, with the special that they call Toonami, and it's English translated or dubbed versions of anime, or there would be the Japanese version and they just put English subtitles over it. So if anime is popular in America now, what effect has it had on society today? Leading us to our final point, denouement, or to tie things up. Well, look around you. In this very classroom, many of your fellow students and peers enjoy anime, and I've compiled a list to show you at the end. And an effect that it's had is it's basically everywhere, and because of that, it's really easily accessible and viewable. It's made its way into our clothing. Adidas and Dragon Ball are rumored to have a collaboration set for 2018 or this year. And then many sites, like the one that's shown, I thought I had the right site, but many companies sell anime-themed clothing. It can be hoodies, shirts, even shoes and hats. It could be anything. Made our way into our video games. Games like Doki Doki Literature Club is set in it's a visual horror kind of a visual novel game. There's Final Fantasy, the game with never-ending sequels, and Kingdom Hearts, actually kind of Disney-based. And then for the list that I've compiled for you, it's kind of a little survey that I did just for fun. I asked a lot of classmates whether or not they watch anime, and if they did, what's their favorite. Connor enjoys Ghost in the Shell, only it's a 1995 movie, not the 2016 adaptation. And he also enjoys Berserk. The other Connor enjoys Madoka Magica, which is a nice little lighthearted and fun anime. Colton enjoys Assassination Classroom, Ancient Mage's Bride, and Dead Man Wonderland. Caleb enjoys Blue Exorcist, and for myself, I really enjoy Oran High School Host Club, Soul Eater, a nice slice of life anime called Nana, and Dragon Ball. And then I have all of the to show you. And so, while you may still not care about anime, I hope that this has made you want to watch maybe just one of them. Even still, arigato, or thank you.